Welcome to the Whiskey Vault. I'm Daniel Whittington, Chancellor of Wizard Academy Whiskey Marketing School. This is Gifted Drams. So Alexandra from Gather PR sent this to me. She's sent me stuff from Westland. I think she works with Glenn Rothus. Then a couple, their PR company works with a couple of brands. And she said, hey, do you want to try this thing? It's a new Japanese whiskey. And I was like, yeah, I looked them up and it looks like they're actually making things. So sure, let's give it a shot. So she sent me the info sheet, and I think it's the same thing that's on the info sheet here. So I am going to read this. No, it's actually different. Okay. So let's open this box. This is the first time I've opened this thing. She sent this to me 6 months ago. Anytime someone sends it to me, I always, oh my gosh, there's multiple things in here. I always tell them, can't promise to review it. But if it's interesting, I eventually get to it. That's cool. I didn't know it was a bunch of little baby bottles. I thought it was like one bottle and a bunch of marketing materials. That's no wasted space. That's all whiskey. So what is the difference between these things? Nothing. It's the same. No, there's a difference because these three labels are different. Just barely. Like the order of the language on the bottle. This one in the tiniest of print says founded in 1883 right here. And then the next one in the tiniest of print says established in 2017, founded in 1883. And then this one says founded in 1883, established in 2017. And the moon or sun or whatever with the clouds over it is slightly different icon. What's that? Maybe it's on the back? Okay, here we go. There it is. There's my info. Pot still, single malt, double distillery Japanese whiskey. So they are different. Very weird. Okay, that's going to be real hard to keep track of. I'm going to go through them real quick with one glass and then move forward each time. So before I pour, says that the distillery went into, it's way down on the southernmost part of Japan, by the way, way down there. It went into operation in 2018. It's named after the second generation leader of the company, Kanosuke Komasa? I'm going to probably butcher that. The distillery is located on a 9,000 square meter tract of land next to the beach on the west coast. 2-story distillery, 3 unique pot stills. Okay, so, no, it's not. Each pot still has a different neck shape and different line arm. And by using those 3 and blending between them, they create different flavors. That's really interesting. The single malt, that's this one, is their first consistent release in the 6 years since they opened. Like the limited editions before it, it's made using all 3 of the copper pot stills. It's very cool. Recharred virgin oak, that's not a thing. Okay, so they use bourbon cask, sherry cask, and then they have these barrels that were virgin oak that they had put rice shochu in, and then they recharred them after they dumped out the shochu and put this whiskey into it. And then it's a bunch of marketing, blah, 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 the beautiful landscape and people and the confectionery and tasting notes. That sounds really rude, I'm sorry. I'm just like, it's just whiskey nonsense. There's 2 sides to this thing. This is how blind I come to these things, guys. My goal when I get mailed something is to just not get too much of the spiel before you guys see me see the spiel. So we have got all 3, the pot still, the single malt, and the double distillery. So the pot still is single grain from their sister distillery, Hyoki. Okay. How's that the pot still? So it's mixed mash malted and unmalted barley. They use a stainless steel pot still for this production. This is weird. That's going to be weird. The double distillery is a marriage of Kanosuke single malt along with the pot. So it's a blend of the 2. So this is the 2. So this is the order I'm going to try this in. Their single malt, the pot still that came from the other distillery. Okay. And man, they really tell the barrels they used. Whether it's peated, this one's slightly peated because the peat's coming from, is the peat coming from, yeah, it's coming from the single malt. Okay. finally, a Japanese whiskey that's being made in Japan with a lot of information and not very easy to open. Oh, there it is. There's the perforation. I didn't see it under the light. Okay. Ah. Ooh, okay. Very soft. This is an apples. A lot of apples. Whoever designed this, I like this. It's informative. Little hard to read, but it's informative, and everything that a nerd would want to know is on here. So good job not making it just a marketing decorative piece. 3 to 5 years old, $100 a bottle if you buy a full-size bottle of this. Whew. This is first it started as candied apple, but now it's turning into like citrus and vanilla cake. And the more I sit with it, the more it turns into lemon pound cake notes. It's nice. Very soft, very gentle. Oh, hey, that's nice. It's very pretty. Very pretty. Very, not space-sidey because not enough malty funk. And for being 3 to 5, it is not grainy or it doesn't taste overly young. It does have a very short finish comparatively. That's probably the youth, but it doesn't taste young. It tastes, there's another, no, theirs is a little too funky. There's another younger distillery in Scotland that this is a little bit reminding me of that's getting to 6 years old now, and they have that similar kind of soft vanilla pound cake sugar creaminess. It says lightly peated. I'm not finding that on the nose at all. But it might be that there's man, if you could consider any kind of a floral thing spicy, maybe that. That's good. I like that. Okay. I'm going to do this even though I was just going to use one glass, but this is getting complicated. And I want to be able to go back and reference when I get to the two. So I'm going to, the blend of the two, I'm going to go ahead and pour them all and let them open up a little bit. These corks are very solid. Okay. There we go. All right, the pot still now, which is the Hioki pot still, which is a stainless steel pot still. And grain, single grain. So I don't understand how they're using that word and using a pot still, because historically, Scotland, Ireland, countries that tend to use the term single grain means column still usually, not always, in my experience. Not had a single grain that then uses the word pot still, a pot still single grain. So do they literally mean only one grain made in a pot still? Because if so, that's not the language that anyone else in Ireland or Scotland or the US is going to hear with the word single grain. So it's a stainless steel pot still used for shochu production that they then use to make whiskey. Does that mean, is it one of those hybrids like in the US and the craft guys will have like a pot base and then a column head? It's called a hybrid still, and it's got plates in the, and you can, boost up and get a weird version of not really a column still whiskey and not really a pot still whiskey. It smells like single grain. Like it smells thin, vanilla forward, vanilla icing, not a lot of complexity, and then a little bit wooden. It reminds me of a bunch of single grains that I've had, but they say right there it's in a stainless steel pot still. Confused. Tastes like column still single grain. Vanilla cream, deep vanilla cream. A little bit of jam. A dryness of wood at the ending. This is New American White Oak and ex-bourbon cask. So yeah, it's probably that New American White Oak that's adding that wooden note. Whew, okay. And then the blend of both, I guess. Ooh, I like that. Oh, wait, hold on. It started as this really beautiful, round, apricot-y kind of direction, and then it went a little funky. Like a slightly astringent tea. The grain is taking over for sure. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? I just realized it. The single malt, I went back. Deanston. It reminds me of Deanston. I don't have any up here to A-B compare. This is the backup area. Anyway, it reminds me of Deanston. I mean, I don't know if that's real, but it's what my head just said. Oh, there's the smoke. That's nice. I like this one. This one's a great malt. This one's more my preferred flavor profile. The nose is a little simple for me, and a little, I think that little, whoa, what is the funk on that? I think it was the smoke. And now that I know I'm looking for it, yeah. Interesting. It gets dry. I really wish there was a little more of this in there. Let's see what happens. I really like the single malt. It's very light, delicate, kind of fruity. I like the single grain's okay. It's fine for a single grain. It's simple. The blend, I love how the smoke presents, but I missed a little bit of the almost honeysuckle floralness. I like that. So if you take the double and you add a small dash of the single malt back into it, ooh, it gets fiery and real smoky and then real floral and green at the same time. That's bizarre. All right. Well, there you go. Welcome to Kanosuke Distillery, which I'm probably mispronouncing. And thank you, Alexandra, as always, for sending in interesting things. I can always count on you for that. And cheers to you guys. I'm really glad you're here. I got nothing. Like and subscribe. I'm looking for some kind of thing to pitch. It's like, you know, I don't know. Like and subscribe. Sometimes we review things you can't get. Sometimes we review things you can. Welcome to the club.